So here we have Ms. Annette from the National Council. Ms. Annette, next week is going to be a very busy week for you and your colleagues here at Parliament as the 6th National Council is inaugurated. Can you perhaps tell us about the swearing-in ceremony?
Thank you very much. As you are aware, we just concluded our national elections, that is the regional and local authorities election. Now that has emanated into new members of the National Council who are elected from the regions. So each region is supposed to send 3 members of parliament coming to the National Council to represent their regions in terms of parliament. So what we are going to do is we are going to swear in the new members of parliament on the 15th of December at the National Council chamber on the Parliament present. So what's going to happen, basically the members of Parliament are expected to arrive at the National Council on Sunday. So what we will do is we'll have an orientation for them. Because if you recall recently, the National Council consists of 42 members, and out of those 42 members, only 10 are coming back. Only 10 are coming back. So it means that the other 32, they are totally new members. So we need to orientate them as to what their function will be in the National Council, even though we are not going to have like a proper induction program. Their induction program will only be in February. So for the Sunday session is just to accredit them and then to prepare them for Tuesday. Then on Monday, we are now going to have like a swearing in ceremony, like kind of like a mock ceremony, where we are going to tell them where do you stand in the chamber, how do you come in. We'll find out from them who want to take an oath, who want to take an affirmation. So that those are like the backdoor preparations that we are going to have with them on Monday. Then on Tuesday, that's when now we are going to swear them in as the 6th members of the National Council, which is the House of Review of the Namibian Parliament. And for the first time ever, we have a lot of opposition. We have out of 42 members, we have 14 opposition, and that 14 is very diverse. And from those 14, we have one IC candidate, independent candidate, and that is the one from the Rundu, from the Kavango West, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Kavango East? Kavango East.
Under Parliament, there are 2 houses. There is the National Assembly and the National Council. The National Council is often referred to as the upper house of review. Can you perhaps tell us about the mandate of the National Council for those that might not be familiar with it as per the Constitution?
The National Council, I think why the perception, why National Council sometimes is not viewed as Parliament is probably the reason that it came into being only in 1993. And the National Assembly was the first house, which was in 1991 when we gained our independence. But after that, even when they were drafting the Constitution, they decided that we need to have like a bicameral parliament in Namibia, bicameral system parliament. That means that the Namibian parliamentary system will be made up of 2 houses of parliament. That is the National Assembly, that is where the executive sits. And the National Assembly's duty is to initiate and pass laws. And then the laws that they deliberate are now referred to the National Council for review. So that's why the National Council is called the Review House. So National Assembly laws cannot be ascended or put into a law. Bills cannot be put into a law if they are not passed through the National Council. So they need to be reviewed properly so that the regional concerns, if there are any regional concerns, then they can be incorporated in some of this legislation that comes through the National Council. So that is the difference. That's why they call it an upper house, because the National Council review the laws or the bills that are passed, referred to it by the National Assembly.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As stated, the 6th National Council will be more diverse with over 14 opposition members compared to the previous National Council that had less than 5. And there will be more reviews as well. Reporting for Today on 1, I'm Joseph Shifeni.